Baby LA, yes indeed. There's more to it than that, it seems, and we're about to find out. I'm so looking forward to the conversation. She is a clinical psychologist, a coach. She has a PhD in clinical psychology, I should say. She uses that expertise to coach people to align with mind, body, spirit, purpose. She does a lot of media work, but also has a book called The Problem with Pretty. So pleased to meet you, Dr. Allycin Powell Hicks.
Hello. So nice to see you today.
Yeah, thank you for coming in live and in person.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's a lot of different pieces to what you do, and we're going to, I think we can touch on all of them.
Let's do it.
But since we started with the song, and you have the book, The Problem with Pretty, you are not just talking about how we look as, oh, can I get a date or can I get a job? You're talking about the biological, the cultural, the ancestral, and the weaponization of beauty. What do you mean by that?
The way in which society takes advantage of this biological thing that we call beauty, right? This knee jerk, because there's this, within 10 milliseconds of meeting someone, you've already made assumptions about who they are, how safe you are in their presence, their character, right? And we all know that those impressions aren't always accurate.
Yeah.
Right? But that's kind of this more built-in piece of us, and society can weaponize that to say like, oh, well, we're going to tell you that this particular aesthetic means this. And so how they can weaponize that to trap and truncate our experiences to keep us away from particular things. And my goal is like, like kind of like what the song is saying, like you do the things that you want to do, but understand that you've got to love you first. We've got to see, how do we see beyond what society tells us is beautiful? How do we see what's actually happening to really, truly, and authentically connect with real people?
Well, there's a lot to that, because I don't have them in front of me, but I've seen studies that people who are considered quote unquote pretty get jobs easier, they get paid more, they get the benefit of the doubt, they get more chances, and on it goes.
All of that, it's real.
Pretty privilege.
So it's real. It's real. And that's society. And we can change that. We're a part of the process. We're a part of the experience. And that's why I want to be able to help women, people, anyone who reads this book, to liberate from blindly and unconsciously just walking into this and just saying like, oh, the halo effect, for example, is what you're explaining, that because somebody has this thing that you see as positive. So the halo effect doesn't have to necessarily just be around beauty, right? But it's one of, basically, it's any positive thing you attribute to someone, you begin to believe other positive things about them.
Okay.
And so if beauty is
you give them other attributes, you just pile on their benefits.
And it's a mistake we make.
It's
a cognitive mistake that we make.
I mean, it's kind of like Ted Bundy. Women thought he was handsome, so he had the opportunity to murder them.
Exactly, because his tactic, right? He would wear a fake cast, and you would be like walking by, and he would have a bag of groceries, and he would be like, "Ma'am, can you please help me put groceries in the car?" And then he would hit them over the head when they bent down to pick up the groceries, and he would, put them in the back of his car or in the trunk. But the factor is, he was an attractive man, but in reality, when in the world has a man asked a woman to lift something heavy?
Yeah.
It's outside of our cultural character. It's outside of some of the roles that we see, but we ignore some of the actual red flags because we're just like, oh, but they're cute. Oh, but they're not. Oh, but they're this, but they're that, and we're not looking at what's actually happening. And so that's why I want the book. Like, I want people who read the book to be able to say, like, wait, do I actually like this person because they're a good person, or is it because they're hot?
Right.
Like, let me understand.
So it's almost like we're gaslighting ourselves.
Yes, absolutely. We are sitting here telling ourselves, like, oh, this is all you need to be. Is you just need to be a guy that has, money, you have a few abs. Oh, you just got to be a girl with, a nice ass, a nice this, a nice that. No, like, those are great to have. Like, I'm not going to tell anybody not to get abs or not to do, like, the work. If you want to do the work, like, I'm not anti-beauty.
Well, you're
right?
gorgeous.
Oh, appreciate it. So are you.
Thank you.
You see what I'm saying? We, like, hear being hot. But, like, I'm not anti-beauty. I'm anti-being unaware of why you make the decisions you make.
Okay, so when you talk about changing society, we are society. Let's face it, as Black people, we are probably the ultimate influencers.
We're the coolest people on the planet.
But for someone like yourself who's pretty, why would you want to change it? Like, you benefit from that system.
I think because not everyone benefits from it. I want as many people as possible to get to be themselves in public and get to be loved, be supported, get opportunities. Because also as a Black woman, right, no matter what, there are people who definitely don't see me as being worthy of particular things.
Yeah.
And I also want that to change. I want it to, you know, the way being a woman in society, people assume a lot of things about you immediately when they meet you. I'm married to a Black man. When he walks in certain spaces, people assume things of him. And I just want everyone to have as much freedom as possible. I want everyone to be able to be judged based on their own character, right? Isn't that what Martin Luther King talked about?
So if one of us is free, until all of us are free, none of us are free.
Exactly.
Even from something like beauty standards.
Exactly.
What about the scale? What about the white supremacy scale of beauty, if you will? I mean, even Lena Horne or Dorothy Dandridge is still valued less, you know, or Halle Berry is valued less by our society than somebody who fits the European beauty standard, right?
I talk a lot about I use a museum metaphor, the pedestal and the floor. That white women are pedestalized. They are put on this place of reverence. But what's unfortunate about their pedestal is it's narrow. They don't have a lot of flexibility, right? So for Black women, we actually, because we're kind of like said, it's like, oh, but you're just a Black girl, blah, blah, blah. Like in my book, I talk about one of my early experiences where I told this guy at school, I was like, baby, we about to date. Like this is about to happen. And this white boy was like, you're cute for a Black girl, but I could never bring an N-word home. Right. It was very clear for him that there was no way that we were going to be together. Right. But as Black women, because of the rejection, I almost knocked him out. I might look dainty, but I can do what I need to do. But as a result of being constantly rejected, Black women and other women of color, but Black women in particular, have created other factors of beauty. So for us, character plays a bigger role in being attractive. That's why we talk a lot about, like, you might be cute on the outside, but you ugly on the inside.
Right.
Like, because those types of impressions actually reshape our perception. We believe that our perception, our eyeballs seeing something, is fact, and it isn't. The deeper we study consciousness, the deeper we study perception, we begin to realize that just because I'm seeing your shirt as orange does not actually make it orange, and does not mean that my eyes see that color as the same color that your eyes see it as. And so we pretend that what we see is super accurate. And if you and I can't agree on the color of your shirt, why do we get to agree on what is beautiful? Something as abstract, something as dependent, because we all know you can fall in love with a partner and see them as more beautiful every day, right? They can become more beautiful with time. The whole a face only a mother could love. You give birth to a baby.
And the Beast syndrome.
Yeah, but like people give birth to a baby. Somebody might not see the baby as attractive. That mom is like, this is the most beautiful person on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Right? Because perception isn't 100% guaranteed. And so that's why I'm like, it's not easy to break, but it's possible because perception isn't fact.
She's here to bend your mind a little bit this morning. And it's good for us. Lord knows we need it. We need a little breather from election things. We need a little breather from, well, all the things. Dr. Allycin Powell Hicks is here to make you think and reevaluate and go a little deeper. And that's what we're doing. If you got a question or a comment, you can call us 800-920-1580. Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions, this is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
You make my day.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to here with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Let's celebrate.
Y'all did it.
Loving each other, needing each other.
Hey, Los Angeles. KBLA Talk 1580 is turning 5, and we're celebrating in a big way.
Oh my God.
Join us Friday, June 19th, Juneteenth, 4 to 7 p.m. at the Beehive for our 5th anniversary bash and Juneteenth celebration.
Oh, celebrate.
We're talking surprise celebrity guests, a special presentation, and a major announcement you will not want to miss.
I can't wait to hear it.
Plus, live music, dancing, games, and enough food and drink to keep the party going.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Of course, you're welcome to bring your own picnic basket, blanket, and lawn chair. And the best part, it's completely free. But here's the thing. You've got to sign up in advance. Space is limited, so don't wait. Head to kbla1580.com right now and lock in your spot. Friday, June 19th, The Beehive, KBLA Talk 1580. 5 years strong, and we're just getting started.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
Yeah, man.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like nuclear reactor safety expert.
I disabled the backup cooling system. It was making such an annoying noise. You heard it, right? It was like,
We're on the countdown to core failure.
and you're saying we don't want that?
This is the job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
If you're an African American mom who is pregnant or have a baby under 6 months old, you deserve care that lifts, listens, and lasts. Black Infant Health is for you. It's a free program with individual support, group sessions, and resources to start your mothering journey. BIH makes space for moms and their families to create community. Learn more about the programs in Los Angeles County. Check us out at blackinfanthealth.org.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Michael's Daughter Foundation is dedicated to inspiring youth and resilience through storytelling, arts, filmmaking, and enrichment programs for youth and families in under-resourced communities and system-impacted individuals. The Michael's Daughter Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit providing free and low-cost arts programs to youth and families from under-resourced communities, both system-impacted youth and those affected by the incarceration of a loved one. 1 in 43 children in America have a parent incarcerated. 70% of those children are expected to end up in prison. Through filmmaking, animation, theater, and writing, they help young people express themselves, build confidence, and imagine new possibilities. Beyond the arts, they offer financial literacy workshops, emergency support, and scholarships. Because thriving takes more than talent, it takes access. To learn more about the impact of Michael Daughters Foundation and how you can be a part of the movement, please visit their website, michaelsdaughterfoundation.com. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, indeed. Let's stretch ourselves a little bit. Let's get better, wiser, smarter. Dr. Allycin Powell Hicks is here to help us do just that. She's got a PhD in clinical psychology, does some coaching. And you were talking before News, Traffic, and Sports about perception.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And how it's not the same for everyone. And I always say this, I talk about it in reference to news because people say that they're objective, and I don't agree with that. I think you can be fair, but I don't think you can be objective because we can only see the world through our own eyes and our own experience. It sounds like you agree.
Absolutely. And I think that if we're not aware of it, we run the risk of allowing our bias to tint and reshape ourselves. So we begin to believe that our vision is the only pure vision. And that's when things get dangerous. And so that's why I love encouraging people to increase their awareness. Because I'm not saying that all bias is bad. Right. I'm not saying that it all needs to be eradicated. We just need to know we have it.
Yeah. And that's my point. As long as we decide that, you know, wealthy or upper middle class white male is the default and everything else is biased, then we're living in a skewed society.
Exactly.
Just say that you see the world through your perspective and you're doing your best to be fair. That's what I do. I'm a black woman, and guess what? That's how I see the world. I'm going to do my best. You get to have your say, and you get to have your say. You get to say the blouse is orange. You can say it's peach. You can say it's mauve. And we all get to say. But how do we know when we're off, or how do we factor that in, right? You say this is orange. I think it's peach. We can sit here and argue. That's where America is right now.
Exactly. And I think that's the line of demarcation. It's the and I don't even know if I want to call it agree to disagree, but it's agree to honor each other's perspectives. Because what I think happens is we're not often arguing about the color of a shirt. We're a lot of times now arguing about identity,
Right.
about rights, about should this person exist in the space or not. And so it's so much more close to home, right? It's so much more personal. It's so much more, there's more weight to it. There's more risk associated with it. And so it sometimes has to come down to, if there's people who can't acknowledge their bias, who can't see that they're looking through a glass darkly, boundaries, because there are some people you just have to separate from. There's a lot of people who have lost family during this period of time because there's conversations that these folks cannot acknowledge their own blindness. And so sometimes, you just have to kind of separate, but it's important to acknowledge, like, okay, I don't know everything. And what I do is I will read information that is counter my beliefs, because I want to see.
I do that too.
Right?
I follow a bunch of terrible, what I would consider terrible viewpoints, just because I want to see and I want to know.
Yeah.
Yogi Fish 01 says, who created the concept of beauty anyway, and why do we need to classify how someone looks?
I agree. And it depends on what they mean by created beauty, because on one hand, beauty is a little evolutionary. It was something that our ancient ancestors evolved to figure out who to hook up with and who not to hook up with. Right? That's kind of like the brass tacks.
Who will make a good offspring, pretty much, right?
Yeah, and then waist tip ratio is basically to tell the difference between what a male might be and what a female might be at a distance. Right? If you're looking at the back of a person who's walking across the field, you need to know, like, is that potentially a partner or an enemy? But our current conception of beauty constantly changes. Like, we're watching the BBL craze end right now in real time, right? We saw the BBLs elevate. We saw them decrease. I'm an elder millennial, okay? I watched, when I was a kid, I do not have a big butt, right? I was not blessed. But in the 90s, everyone would make fun of me for having a big butt, because it was all about, like, oh, you can't, oh, girl, you got something back there. You so thick. Blah, blah, blah. It was a bad thing, right? But then all of a sudden the butts were in style, and now we're slowly seeing it change. And so beauty is something that is constantly churning as societies and expectations change. And in different cultures, different things are in style. Like, I see my body in Renaissance paintings all the time. The girls with, like, the little fupa, with the little belly. I'm like, oh, I should have been around back then.
Well, you know what? I mean, even in real time, I feel like a lot of that has to do with black women. Like, everybody decided that a little thicker was better, and everybody decided they wanted a butt.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of attributed to the Kardashians, but that was a shift based on blackfishing.
Thank you. It was us. They got the credit.
Right.
And they're also getting credit for Instagram face, which I'm not necessarily a fan of, but this heavily highlighted face with lots of contour, tons of makeup every day. That's also being credited to them. And I just think they are the aesthetic du jour. They are the people that people are focusing on. But obviously Sarah Bartman, Sarjeet, she was taken from her culture in South Africa and put in, like, human zoos, and was paraded around because of her body. Because she had a big
chest,
big butt, big boobs. She was curvy. She was like the Venus archetype. And so we've seen this body style for a long time. Obviously, black women have had it for, forever. And yeah, it's just kind of, it became popular. And now we're hearing, I don't know if you're hearing the new conversation. It's about stronger, not smaller. Have you heard this?
No.
Yeah, stronger, not smaller is the next potential wave in, like, body styles, because people are starting to get very slim again in media. And so they're trying to say, like, oh, well, we want to get muscles now.
We're not wafy. It's not just Ozempic.
Yeah, we have muscles because Ozempic is losing muscle.
It's not just Ozempic, right?
Yeah,
right.
So you see the trends are very much so chasing capitalism. And that's another thing I want people to be free of, right? It's not just about constantly believing that your worth is dependent upon, oh, if I get this cream to make this better, that better, like, oh, then I'll be happier, I'll be in love. That's not necessarily the case. Like, love yourself. Be cool with how you look. Like, if you want to change something, do it. But, like, just again, the awareness, know why.
Yeah. We're talking about difference in perception between you and I, and me and Trump, or whatever, how our country is so polarized. But I also think there's the self-delusion part. And I'm the queen of that, I say that, yeah, I'm okay, good. We all are, because, well, I can look in the mirror and say, oh my gosh, I'm so fat, and I'm still a size 4.
I know, right?
But to me, I look humongous. and then I was reading. I read a lot of self-help books, and it
We love
actually
it.
does help.
I
But-
got one for you out. I got my book for you out there.
Great. I'll be reading that next. No, because they actually do help. But one of the things I read in this book called Facing Codependency by Melanie Beattie is that when people come from trauma and abuse in their backgrounds, they can't see themselves accurately. And so I wonder about that in terms of what you're saying, how I perceive something versus how
Yeah.
how you perceive it and how I perceive myself, the lies I tell myself about what's wrong with me.
And a part of it is the way in which we think about what's happening. And a part of that is shaped by how we are experiencing our emotions. So there's this concept called emotion-focused memory. So if you're angry, right, if you've ever gotten in an argument with your partner, you start remembering every horrible, can I cuss? Shitty, bad,
No, you can't.
horrible thing that they've ever done in the past of your entire life. And you bring all of those things back because your emotion is anger. But when you're happy, you have more access to positive things that they've done, to positive things that you've remembered. And so emotions can also reshape the way we see things. Because sometimes I look at myself if I've had like a really, difficult day and I'm moving fast and I'm like, oh, I can't fit my pants and my belly's hanging out and this boob is bigger than the other one and it's hanging out the side of the bra and blah, blah, and I'm so mad. But then there's some days where I'm like, did I lose weight?
All right.
And I lost not a pound. Nothing has changed. Not one thing has changed. I haven't lost weight in 10 years, right? So...
And I don't see any fupa either, by the way.
Oh, girl, it's here. I hide it. I'm very talented at hiding it.
But I see what you're saying because I that happens to me all the time. One day on YouTube, I'm like, oh, I look tore up. The next day, I'm like, hey, I'm doing better today. What that can be, you're saying that can be driven by our emotion, which is why it makes sense. Now you're saying this about emotion-focused memory that when I think I'm in love, when I'm infatuated, when I'm sprung, I attribute all these good things to someone even when they're doing not such great things.
Exactly. It's one of the reasons people talk about and experience this like manifestation thing, right? It's like if you are like, for example, have a history of trauma, you might experience what's called hypervigilance, which is this constantly looking for danger because that's what's protected you in the past because bad things were happening. You had to pay attention to danger, but maybe now you're in a safer situation, but you're still habitually primed and you're accustomed to the pattern of looking for negative things. So now you meet somebody that is, a normal person, 80% decent, a few, 20% a mess. And like we all are, right? We're all a combination of great and not great. And you're looking for the horrible things that they do. You're seeking out for, you're searching for ways in which this relationship isn't going to work. And then guess what? You find them.
Right.
One thing I have some of my coaching clients do when we first start working together is I'll have them look for all the red cars in town. I'm like, for the next week, write down, like, count all the red cars. Then they'll come back the next week and I'll say, how many white cars did you see? And they'll be like, girl, you asked me to look for red cars. And I'm like, yeah, so while you were looking for red cars, you didn't see the white ones. Because your focus.
Right. And so, well, we got news, traffic, and sports here, but the hypervigilance thing, I think, is one of the reasons why people try to say black women that we're problematic. It's not that we're problematic. We understand what it takes to keep ourselves safe.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard to shift out of that gear. 800-920-1580 if you got a question or comment. Dr. Allycin Powell Hicks is my guest, and we'll continue the conversation only right here.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Senator Mark Warner is criticizing President Trump's choice for acting director of national intelligence.
Most all of my Republican colleagues have agreed and called him out. No, I'm not sure there's anyone that said this guy is qualified.
Appearing on Fox News Sunday, the Virginia Democrat called Bill Pulte grossly unqualified. A New York jury has convicted a man of manslaughter as a hate crime in the killing of black dancer O'Shea Sibley. Dmitry Popov was also found guilty on other charges, though acquitted of murder as a hate crime. Sentencing is set for June 30th, bringing some closure to Sibley's family and the LGBTQ+ community. And Jay-Z is headed back to the stage with a series of major shows. He's set to perform a 30th anniversary concert at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles on October 23rd, along with a Paris show on September 10th and a 3-night run at Yankee Stadium in July. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Escape the city at the all-new Hard Rock Casino Tejon, just an easy drive from downtown LA. Play your favorites across over 2,000 slot machines, plus baccarat, blackjack, roulette, and craps. Enjoy live entertainment and exceptional dining. Must be 21 or older. Concerned about your gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Serena Williams and her doubles partner Victoria Mboko are back in action Thursday in the quarterfinals of the HSBC Championships in London. Serena kicked off her comeback with an opening round victory on Tuesday in the doubles competition. At age 44, Serena appears to be serious about playing again. The Compton native has already agreed to play in the Berlin Tennis Open next week in Germany. The HSBC Championships is Serena's first competition since she retired in 2022. LeBron is on the cover of this month's Time magazine. The publication named LeBron their athlete of the century. LeBron is featured in Time's special issue, The 100 Most Influential People in Sports. Dodger star Shohei Ohtani made the list. Game 4 of the NBA Finals is tonight. The New York Knicks are up 2-1 over San Antonio in the best of 7. 5 p.m. tip-off on ABC. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Here's to 5 years of making the right people uncomfortable. 5 years of amplifying the voices that deserve a megaphone. 5 years of progressive talk radio that Los Angeles can be proud of. And the gift we're giving you is 5 more years of exactly this. Unapologetically progressive, unmistakably LA. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Happy anniversary!
Going to a World Cup match in LA this summer? Ditch the parking stress and ride Metro. With direct service from across LA County, it's the easy way to get there for just $1.75 each way.
There is no denying that we've always been the conscience of this country. KBLA Talk 1580 is progressive talk radio built for our community, by our community, and with hosts who look like you, live near you, and care about what you care about. 50,000 watts of truth right here in Southern California. KBLA Talk 1580. Listen live on your AM radio dial at 1580 or stream us live on our KBLA1580.com website or on our free KBLA 1580 app.
Unapologetically progressive.
All I need is one mic.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. It's high time that we say the quiet part out loud about what we consider a disgrace, an absolute disgrace to the people of South Los Angeles. Destination Crenshaw, or as I call it, Procrastination Crenshaw, was supposed to be a 1.3-mile celebration of Black Los Angeles. Pocket parks, commissioned art, a cultural corridor along Crenshaw Boulevard, stretching from our studios in Leimert Park down to Nipsey Hussle Square. It was set to complete in 2022. That's right, 2022. We are now in 2026, and the Crenshaw community is still waiting. A grand opening was announced for February 2024. That date passed with not a single artwork installed. Then we were promised that construction would be completed by the end of 2024. That date came and went. Our understanding is that as of last fall, the 8th Council District Office was still scrambling to raise additional monies just to restart the project, which has been paused again and again. But here's what makes my blood boil. City officials had the nerve to tell this community the delays are, quote, a necessary inconvenience, close quote. A necessary inconvenience? First of all, who are you talking to? Second, go tell that to the Black business owners who have been coping with construction chaos, breathing dust, enduring years of road closures and the scarcity of available parking, confronting unsanitary conditions, losing customers and revenue, all while the project they were promised still sits unfinished. They wouldn't let a project sit this long in any other part of this city. And for what it's worth, our elected official just happens to be the president of the LA City Council. Meanwhile, the city is laser focused on sprucing things up for the World Cup and the Olympics Please, if this corridor were in Brentwood or Beverly Hills, it would have been completed on time, on budget, and on the cover of every magazine in town. The Crenshaw community deserves better. They deserve the truth, and they deserve what was promised to them. Now, right now. Not when it's convenient, not when the cameras are rolling for the Olympics. Now, this isn't incompetence, this is a pattern. And at some point, neglect becomes a decision. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley. As always, we welcome your feedback.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
Dr. Allycin Powell Hicks is here. She is an author. I know you like the sound of that.
I do.
The book just dropped recently, and it is your debut.
Mm-hmm.
So there are book signings going on all around, and what we need to do is follow your socials because the book signings are happening all the time.
Yes.
So tell us how to follow you.
So, okay, my name is Wacky, okay? It's spelled Allycin, and then my last name is Hicks, Hicks. You can find me at Allycin Hicks on Instagram. You can find me at Dr. Ally on TikTok. I am on TikTok most of the time, and then you can also follow me on my website, AllycinHicks.com.
Okay, and it's Allycin.
Mm-hmm.
Because black people named you.
Literally, it's my mom and my grandma's name put together.
I knew
Alice and Cynthia. Allycin. I'm like, they just can't let me be me.
Well, that's just your perception of the name. Yeah, but that's great. And at Dr. Ally on TikTok, that's easy enough.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about, I was teeing up this question of self-perception and how we judge ourselves. And I noticed that as I get older, it's a little easier. But still, even still, you know, we're constantly comparing. And social media seems to have put that on steroids.
Yes.
So how do we escape that prison of beauty standards and self-judgment in this context of right now?
One, I think we need to take more control over our social media, right? The algorithm is powerful, okay? And basically they're looking for any video you spend more than a second on. If you spend time, they want to show you more of that so they can keep your eyes on that platform. But I've seen some people, and I've done this before, they'll do like a beauty cleanse of their algorithm where they will go to pages of beauty influencers that look more like them, that have real bodies, real faces, real things. And so they're not nonstop seeing people that are living in this, like, you know, size zero space. Not that anything's wrong with being size zero, but that ain't going to be for me.
I mean, I love Zendaya, but she's actually arguably perfect.
I mean, my God, I love this girl so much.
I love her too, but I'm just saying, we're constantly, you know, I'm not wealthy and fabulous.
Yeah.
I'm not perfectly skinny. And it's...
Yeah. And so creating the feed that you want. And then you're going to have to double down and reinforce it because your feed, like my feed has started to get away from me again, where now I'm seeing things that are stressing me out and I'm noticing it in my body. My hips are tight. My shoulders are tight. I'm like, why am I feeling like this? It's like, oh, I spent too much time on social media and I'm seeing things that aren't really making me happy. So like for me, my feed, I don't even want people in it at all. I want to see like beautiful homes. I want to see like pretty colors. I want to see people taking fun little trips, going to like nice places so I can be like, oh, that looks cute. Like that's what I want my feed to be. And so I try to, when I find a video like that, even if I'm not super interested in it in the moment, I will let it play a few times on my phone so I can train my phone into like knowing what I want it to see. And then I also encourage a good old social media break, which I have taken kind of on and off, and I'm sure it's ruined my the way the algorithm now like promotes my videos, but I don't care. It's overwhelming to constantly compare yourself. Like you have to think, a few generations ago, our great grandparents only knew like 50 people,
right?
Like ever, 100 max, right? And one of those 100 they were going to marry. Like that's it.
Yeah.
And now we have access to billions and billions and billions of people, all of their happy moments, their sad moments, their tragedies, their excitements, and it's just overwhelming. And it puts you in that position of constantly comparing. That's what humans do. That's how we survive.
You know, I have a friend, he's a male friend, young guy, looking for a wife. Anyway, I'm trying to help him find one, but I haven't been doing a good job. But anyway, he was telling me that because men have this seemingly endless supply of women between the dating apps and what they see on social media, that they're also getting an unrealistic view of what real life women are like, because they're comparing the women they meet in real life with the social media images, whatever they're watching in porn, and you know, and the dating apps, which are also a lot of catfishing. So is that is that creating psychological damage? Is that skewing our idea of pretty and not pretty?
I think absolutely, because one, connecting with somebody on social, connecting with somebody via a digital device releases different hormones than when you actually connect with someone in person. Yes. So like now that you and I are looking into each other's eyes, gazing wistfully, we are releasing oxytocin.
Right.
Right. Which is a hormone of connection, of collaboration, and it calms us down. It soothes our nervous system. But when we are on an app, we are releasing more dopamine. It's about getting the likes. It's about getting the hit. It's about the person responding on the dating app, right? So it's not so much even about the person, it's about getting the response.
Right. It's almost like a drug.
It is exactly like that, right? And there can be like an addiction. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I feel like I am legit fiending for social media. Like I feel an ache in my body. But yeah, so it's different hormones. And and then like you're saying, there's just this like endless amount of people that you can date on these dating apps, and then they kind of gamify it in a way where it's like, go left, go right, go left, go right. It's as if these aren't real people, right? You wouldn't walk through the world swiping on people.
Right. Yeah. So the solution is, you just say moderation.
You know, I'm old school. I told y'all I'm an elder millennial. I say go back. Can we date in person again?
Yeah. I'm for that.
Can we just like go to a bar, go to a church, go to a restaurant, go to the grocery store, and just meet people in the wild and like speak to them and get to know them because we have shared experiences and shared interests, as opposed to it being like, well, I read the list of this person's character traits and I think I like them.
Right. Oh no, the photo doesn't match my impression or my fantasy.
They almost never do.
Right.
Right.
How could
like
they?
Any of us taking any photo, we're going to show our best light. We're going to show our best angle. We're going to show the best part of us. Who's going to put out a picture of them that doesn't look the greatest? And then you show up and maybe it was a photo from a few weeks ago. Maybe you have a piece of, zit today or something. It's expectations. And so people come with this expectation that like, oh, you're going to be exactly the same and you're going to be exactly what I want. And when you're not 100% perfect, they dispose of you. When nobody's 100% perfect. That's relationships. People will be like, are you telling me to settle? And I'm like, maybe. They're settling for you. We're all settling for something.
I mean, then now we're back to my guy has to be 6'2" and make six figures and can't take me to the Cheesecake Factory. But I mean, we're putting that pressure on our prospective partner, but also on ourselves. And I think, that's what I see having a teenager and young adult as, in my house, is that, and we've seen this with these lawsuits now against Meta and YouTube, that it's harming them psychologically. I know we can't go back to the old days. We're going to know a billion people now. We're going to be exposed. But how do we either make ourselves stronger to step up to that new reality or inoculate ourselves?
Yeah, I do think it's about taking a little bit of some breaks, right? Because we haven't evolved fast enough. Right? Our brains are very plastic. They change, they adapt, but this is a big jump, right? In my time, I have worked on a typewriter. I've worked on a computer. Now we're over here. We have computers in our pockets. When we were kids, that was like no, you couldn't even imagine it.
Right. A video call with something from the future, but now it's right now. Yogi Fish is also asking, what are your thoughts on artificial human empathy from AI interactivity? I was just talking to one of my friends who's a boomer, an older boomer, and she's connected with Claude, and she's loving it. And I felt kind of sad because she's brilliant, but I just don't know. It seems problematic.
I honestly, when I think about it, I do think that the biggest challenge that I see is that have so little connection with real human empathy right now that the simulacra of empathy gives us the feels. And I'm not gonna lie, ChatGPT's made me cry before too. And I have human connection, and I have, because I'll test stuff out, right? But it to me, it's evidence of the very reality that we're all burnt out.
Yeah.
We have experienced, 2020 was a hugely traumatizing year.
Yes, and we're not over it yet,
We
are
are
we?
not at all.
Because people want to pretend we are, but I don't see it.
I see nothing but symptoms of trauma. The division, it's called risky shift. So groups tend that coalesce with one another, people who align with your beliefs, they become more and more and more fringe over time. And the more those groups disagree with each other, the more they believe their own beliefs. And this is like a trauma. This can be a trauma response. And so I am seeing us being less social. I'm a very social person, and I haven't gone out as much as I used to before. And I'm not back to 2019 levels of socialization yet, right? Nowhere near. And most people I know are exhausted. And so and because we're exhausted, it's hard to reach out to people with your problems, because everybody has 20,000 problems now. So people are kind of withdrawing more. They're a little bit more isolated, and that doesn't feel good. Humans, we're not to isolate. We're not meant for that. We're meant to be social. We're meant to connect and then take our breaks and then come back and connect. And so we have something now that can connect with us any day, anytime.
ChatGPT, Claude,
all
whatever
day long.
it is. Yeah.
But it's a simulacra. It does feel different than when a real human person can touch your hand. Like last night, one of my friends, she was like, "Give me your hand," and just held my hand. That is something that a lot of us don't have in our lives. That's something an AI can't do. And I also understand it's hard to make friends as an adult, right? So I'm not saying that there's some perfect answer.
It's hard, but it's possible.
It is absolutely possible.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just friendly.
Mm-hmm.
I can be very unfriendly
Charming.
too. But I feel like I meet people, that's a whole other show. But, friends, based on just going places of mutual interest. A lot of time it's in fellowship, in activism, community organizing, or, working out, because I'm a health enthusiast. But you got to go outside.
You got to go outside. And I think that's the key, is encouraging people and supporting people and helping people feel comfortable to go outside again. Because sometimes people let beauty get in the way too. They're like, well, I'm not dressed. I don't have this.
Oh,
I
that's
have
me.
that. I can't.
No, my hair's crazy. Sorry.
Yeah, no, not me anymore. I used to be that girl, but now I take my hot girl walks.
Really?
And so I look crazy. If you ever go on my social media, I have 5 different sweatshirts that I basically rotate.
Well, we got a couple folks that would like to talk to you here. We're going to go to Willie, calling us from Palmdale. He's always telling me that this show is therapy, so maybe he's happy to have someone that actually knows something about therapy.
Coaching. Don't y'all do that to me. No.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, Willie. Coaching,
Hello,
not
Dominique.
therapy.
I'm sorry. I'm listening to the wrong program. I'm looking at the one you're talking about sports and stuff, and I just want to ask
you're looking at an old show. That's hilarious.
The Knicks the other night.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but therapy is real good. I listen to Zoe Williams sometimes, and I'm waiting for his book to come out, and I'm gonna check out his webathon on the 27th.
Okay.
For
Zoe
those who
Williams
purchase
is one
his
of our
book.
hosts here on KBLA. He does a relationship show in the evenings, and he's very metaphysical with it. He's real deep with it. Yeah, he's very deep with it. All right, Willie. Well, now you got to go to live if you want to see the show that's happening.
And now you got to buy The Problem with Pretty, okay? Get that book, too.
That's the book, The Problem with Pretty.
Get that.
Oh, The Problem with Okay, then. Thank you. Is it on Amazon?
Sure is. It's anywhere you can buy a book.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, it's a real actual book with a real actual publisher.
It is.
Available wherever books are sold. Dr. Allycin Powell Hicks is my guest, and we'll keep it going when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
For communities impacted by the war on drugs, cannabis legalization was supposed to create opportunity, but too often people entered the industry without the information they needed to succeed. That's why the Los Angeles County Office of Cannabis Management, in partnership with Life Development University, is presenting the Cannabis Worker Voices Panel on June 13th at 3 p.m. at Life Development University, located at 4241 Crenshaw Boulevard. Hear directly from cannabis workers about their career journeys day-to-day experiences, challenges, and opportunities. Learn about workforce pathways, transferable skills, and what working in the legal cannabis industry really looks like. Free public education designed to help you make informed decisions before investing your time, money, or energy. Register today at lacountycannabised.org or call 323-747-6728.
LADWP customers get rebates up to $1,500 when you install a qualified electric vehicle charger at your home. It's like having a gas station in your garage. Get extra savings when you combine LADWP rebates with federal tax credits on chargers installed before June 30th. Visit ladwp.com/EV today and start saving. That's ladwp.com/EV.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Michael's Daughter Foundation is dedicated to inspiring youth and resilience through storytelling, arts, filmmaking, and enrichment programs for youth and families in under-resourced communities and system-impacted individuals. The Michael's Daughter Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit providing free and low-cost arts programs to youth and families from under-resourced communities, both system-impacted youth and those affected by the incarceration of a loved one. 1 in 43 children in America have a parent incarcerated. 70% of those children are expected to end up in prison. Through filmmaking, animation, theater, and writing, they help young people express themselves, build confidence, and imagine new possibilities. Beyond the arts, they offer financial literacy workshops, emergency support, and scholarships. Because thriving takes more than talent, it takes access. To learn more about the impact of Michael Daughters Foundation and how you can be a part of the movement, please visit their website, michaelsdaughterfoundation.com. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
All right, Dr. Allycin Powell Hicks is my guest. The Problem with Pretty is the book. It is out now. You can get it now wherever books are sold. And you can find her on socials. I'm sure you have link in the bio type things going on. But you got to know how to spell Allycin. It's Allycin.
Because I'm black.
Allycin Hicks, because she's black. And that's how we do. Let's go to Queen calling us from Los Angeles. Good morning, Queen. You're on with Dr. Powell Hicks. Welcome. Queen, you there? Talk to me. Testing 1, 2. Okay, well, it says she's there, but she ain't talking, so we're going to keep it pushing. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen all these balloon pop shows.
Yeah. You from my countenance, you can understand how I feel about them.
Yeah, not real thrilled about it.
I will say I don't hate many things, but I do hate those shows.
And why is that?
Well, because I just think that they're fundamentally unfair. And I also think that public embarrassment is not my cup of tea. And I think that they're exclusively based on physical appraisal, right? It's like, oh, your body, oh, your outfit. Which
that's why I brought it up.
I hate it. And the outfit ones are the craziest to me. I'm like, you can change an outfit, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's a very easy thing to change on a person. And I think it just diminishes us. I think it hurts people. I think it makes people believe that their entire worth is their body, is their face, is their aesthetic. And there's just so much more to a person than that. And it saddens me to see that being a block, especially for something like love and relationship and connection, because connection is like I said earlier, one of the things humans need. We're not good on our own. None of us could have built this building by ourselves.
Right, we're social. Actually, probably we wouldn't have survived, right? Because we don't have teeth and claws and super fast.
We don't have hair on our skin. We get cold. We shiver. We are notoriously horrible at surviving on our own. I watch lots of Naked and Afraid. We are not good at it. We get bit by bugs. We need one another. And there's parts of our brain that register pain, for example. And we feel those parts of our brain activate when we are excluded from things, when we're rejected, when we're pushed out.
Yeah.
And so because back in the day, being shunned from a community or a society, being expelled, was one of the most horrible things you could do to a person, because you were assuring their death, basically.
Wow, true.
Right? Back in the day, you get kicked out of, Roanoke, you're done for. And so we still have those sensations in us, and we feel physical pain when we are rejected, and we feel release of oxytocin, release vasopressin when we are connected, when we feel love from somebody. It is still something that's so fundamentally important. So it devastates me that people are excluded from that ostensibly because of physical appearance when there's so much more.
We only got a couple minutes here. I probably should have asked you this quite a while ago, but I'll throw it in here at the end. How do we help our kids? What do we need to be saying or doing to help them not be in the balloon pop mentality of it's all the external?
I think that's hard. And, I have a lot of friends that work in tech, and none of their kids are on screens.
Yeah.
They're not. They understand how screens work, but they do not utilize social media. They're not in the apps because these folks who build, friends that build them, and they're like, no, my kids are not going to see that. So I think that there's at least for a period of time, like when they're, as they're coming of age. And I don't want to shame any parents because I'm not a mom, I'm not a parent, and I understand that having kids is a lot, especially now. And you don't want to give them the impression that they can't have certain things or they can't do certain things. And I understand sometimes I do too much and they need a little tablet to hush them down.
Not only that, a lot of times they will get it even if you think they don't have it.
And they're watching, they know your passwords, like the kids are in it. So I don't want any parent to feel like I'm saying like something's wrong with you if your kids are on tablets. That's not what the case is. But I do think that building into a child real life contact so they can feel the difference between talking to their friend on the playground, going to play dates, going to Sky Zone, doing real physical things, as opposed to being on social media. And that they understand these are two very different things. Social media world is not the same as when you actually hang out with your friend James, on the playground. It's different. And helping them see that difference and helping them understand, you're valuable, you're worthy no matter what. So I think that kind of starting with this body knowledge, getting them understanding kind of like what sensation and feeling is before, so they can know, I know social media is fake. I know when I get empathy from AI, it's fake because I've known real empathy. But if I've never known real empathy, how would I? And that's what I'm seeing with younger generations is they don't have the requisite knowledge, that embodied physical knowledge of when your gut goes off and it's like, wait, something's wrong here. They don't have the same gut because they haven't had the same lived experience that us older folks have. And so try to give your kids an experience of that to learn in the real world first.
Okay, well said. Remind them once again how to follow you, how to find the book signings, which are happening everywhere.
Yeah, they are. So AllycinHicks.com. You can find me on Allycin Hicks, ALLYCIN HICKS on IG, and Dr. Ally, DRALLY on TikTok.
Thank you so much for coming in. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
You're amazing.
Got a little, oxytocin, whatever.
Oxytocin. We got some
a little
oxytocin.
oxytocin going on over here. Tavis Smiley's up next. He's in the bullpen warming up, and let me tell you, he has got an incredible show on deck for you today, as per usual. Want to remind you to tap in with me as well on social media. I'm at DiPrima Radio, DIPRIMA, and then radio. Mostly on Instagram, but I've got a YouTube, I've got a TikTok, and of course, I'd love to see you there. Like, comment, subscribe. KBLA 1580 is the radio station everywhere. KBLA1580.com if you want to register for our free Juneteenth party. It's a celebration of our 5th anniversary. It's a picnic, it's a party, there's entertainment, and it's all free. Like my mama, the late great poet laureate Diane DiPrima used to say, history is now. Like I always say, we're making it together. Until next time, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Senator Mark Warner is criticizing President Trump's choice for acting director of national intelligence.
Most all of my Republican colleagues have agreed, called him out. I'm not sure there's anyone that said this guy is qualified.
Appearing on Fox News Sunday, the Virginia Democrat called Bill Pulte grossly unqualified. A New York jury has convicted a man of manslaughter as a hate crime in the killing of black dancer O'Shea Sibley. Dimitri Popov was also found guilty on other charges, though acquitted of murder as a hate crime. Sentencing is set for June 30th, bringing some closure to Sibley's family and the LGBTQ+ community.